नमस्कार। श्री रामकृष्ण कथामृत। तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमंगलं श्रीमदादतं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। श्री रामकृष्ण कथामृतो प्रथम भाग चतुर्थ खंडो सप्तम परिच्छेद, and we continue our reading from the 7th chapter. And Sri Ramakrishna has, in the previous readings, he told us that what are the different types of bhakti, the devotion, like the prema bhakti or the raga bhakti, the intense, passionate love for God. That is one path. That you just have a deep yearning to see your mother, have the deep, a deep love, intense love, passionate love for the Lord. That is one way. Another way is a ritualistic worship, formal worship. Your japa, your meditation, your formal worship of your chosen deity, waving of the lamps, arti, sandhya, all those things. Now, what Sri Ramakrishna says, even Vaidhi Bhakti leads to Prema Bhakti ultimately. It is not that Vaidhi Bhakti goes, you lifelong you keep on, waving the lamp or burning the incense sticks or doing the japa. No. Do it wholeheartedly. Put in your 100% Sholo in that Vaidhi Bhakti also, in that ritualistic worship also, and that will also lead you to attain the Prema Bhakti, to the Raga Bhakti. And once you have Prema Bhakti, Raga Bhakti, that intense and passionate devotion for your chosen ideal cannot sit idle. He will have to come, the mother will have to come and give you the vision. And then Sri Ramakrishna told us that beautiful example of how the difference between the unripe bhakti and the paka bhakti, ripe bhakti. Merely without concentration, without putting in 100%, keep on doing that formal worship is kacha bhakti. You keep on doing japa, fine, but your mind is somewhere else. What is the use of doing that japa? You keep on waving the lamp, doing arti, singing the glories of the Divine Mother. But while singing, while chanting, while waving, while doing the arti, while burning incense, your mind is somewhere else. What is the use? That is kacha bhakti, unripe bhakti. Doing all these rituals just for the sake of doing rituals. You are not involved in it. And since one is not involved in it, there cannot be generation of intense love. There cannot be generation of that passionate love for your chosen ideal. For that, you have to have that intensity in yourself. And Sri Ramakrishna gave that example of photographer, the glass plate. The plain glass plate, if you focus and expose an object in front of that glass plate, that object impression will be there on the glass only till the moment that object is in front of the glass. But you apply that black compound, the silver nitrate, onto the glass plate, and then when you expose an object in front of that glass plate coated with silver nitrate, the impression will be retained, and then you can actually print that impression on the paper and have the permanent copies of that image. Now, Sri Ramakrishna says, just with the plain glass you cannot have. With the kacha bhakti, you can never attain. You can never see the vision. You can never have the vision of your chosen deity. For that, you should have that intense love. You should have that passionate devotion. You should have that passionate yearning to have the vision of your mother. That passion, that intensity is the silver nitrate coating on the glass plate, and then you can actually have a communion with your chosen deity, with your chosen idol. And after having uh, told this, Sri Ramakrishna finally in our yesterday's reading said, ঈশ্বরের উপর ভালোবাসা না থাকলে উপদেশ ধারণা হয় না. Till the time you don't have that intense love, that passionate love for the Lord, you will never assimilate the spiritual teachings. That upadesh dharana, your guru, the saints, the seers, they might tell you 1,000 things, but unless and until you don't have that feeling of oneness with the Lord, that intense love, bhalobasha na thakle, you don't have that love for the Lord, upadesh dharana hoina, you won't be able to internalize that teaching. That teaching is of no use. And now hearing all these beautiful teachings of Sri Ramakrishna about the different types of love and the importance of having that passionate love for that raga bhakti, for that prema bhakti. Now Vijay has got a doubt in his mind now. So Vijay Krishna Goswami asks, Mohashay, ঈশ্বরকে লাভ করতে গেলে, তাকে দর্শন করতে গেলে ভক্তি হলেই হয়? Now Vijay has got it down. He says, revered sir, is love for God sufficient? Is it enough to see him, to have his vision? Because Vijay Krishna Goswami, being a great Jnani himself, he could not assimilate this teaching of Sri Ramakrishna immediately, that if one develops this intense love for God, one can have his vision. So Vijay is asking, is that sufficient, or he needs something else also? So what is Sri Ramakrishna's answer to that? Sri Ramakrishna tells, bhakti দ্বারাই তাকে দর্শন হয়, কিন্তু Baka bhakti, prema bhakti, rago bhakti chai. He said, yes, of course. There is no doubt. You can very much have. You can certainly have the vision of the Lord through path of devotion. But that devotion should be ripe devotion. Not the unripe one. Baka bhakti. That devotion should be prema bhakti. The intense love, raga bhakti, the passionate love for the Lord. And then yes, certainly you can have it. Shei bhakti elei tar upor bhalobasha ashe. Once you develop that devotion, once you develop that kind of yearning, only then you can truly love God. Then there can be no barrier between your love for the God. There won't be any selfish interest in loving the God. No, it is pure, it is blissful, it is unselfish love. Love for the sake of love. That's it. Me and my mother, the child and its mother, the servant and its master, the devotee and the Lord. That love, pure, untainted, unselfish, that love. যেমন ছেলের মার উপর ভালোবাসা, মার ছেলের উপর ভালোবাসা, স্ত্রীর স্বামীর উপর ভালোবাসা. What kind of love Sri Ramakrishna is telling us to have for the Lord? Like the love that a child has for the mother. Pure love. The child doesn't have any fraction of selfishness attached to its love for its mother, or even the love for the mother for her child. Mother does everything for the child, and without any trace of self-interest in it. No. A child while playing Mother is doing her duty, but the moment mother hears the child's cry, she will leave away all the work and just run to the child. Just run to the child. That is the love that mother has for him. And the child's love, what the child does. When the child is playing with the toy, fine, he is on its own. But the moment it starts missing the mother, then no toy can keep the child's attention intact. Then the child only wants its mother. You cry loudly, and wherever mother is, mother will come running to him. That is the now why child cries if he starts missing his mother? It is okay, it might be hungry and all that, but it is purely because of love. Why does child love its mother? Child knows that this lady is my own. He knows nobody has to teach him. Nobody has to teach the child to understand its mother. Child understand its that is the first bonding that a person can have the moment one takes birth, the child and its mother. So Sri Ramakrishna says, what kind of love one should have for Lord? Like the child has for its mother, like mother has for her child, and স্ত্রীর স্বামীর উপর ভালোবাসা, like a wife's love and devotion for her husband. So that is the kind of love that Sri Ramakrishna is telling us to have for the divine, for our mother. এই ভালোবাসা, এই রাগ ভক্তি এলে স্ত্রী পুত্র আত্মীয় কুটুম্বের উপর সে মায়ার টান থাকে না. Now Sri Ramakrishna says, when you have such kind of intense love, the passionate love for the God, you don't feel that attraction of Maya, of the selfish love, that the tainted love towards wife, towards children, towards relatives. You see, all those loves, they are so lowly in nature compared to the love of a child for its mother, or compared to the love of mother for its child, or compared to the love of a devout wife for her husband. So Sri Ramakrishna says, once you have that kind of love, then these flimsy loves cannot affect you through the dent of Maya, through the attraction of Maya. Don't feel attraction of Maya, attraction of that delusion for all those so-called near and dear ones. Doya thake, you can have compassion for them. You see, love for God is totally different than having love or affection for the near and dear ones. And Sri Ramakrishna beautifully, separates these two. The love for the God, the bhalobasha for God is totally different than what the feelings that you have for your family members. That is compassion. What you have for your family members is not that intense love. It's not that intense, passionate love that you should have for God. Doya thake, you can have compassion. সংসার বিদেশ বোধ হয়ে, একটি কর্মভূমি মাত্র বোধ হয়ে. And then when you develop that intense and passionate love for the God, then you feel as if living in a family, as if you're in a foreign land. You are in a different world. Your world is somewhere. Your own place is somewhere else. That's what starts happening when you develop that prema bhakti, that raga bhakti. একটি কর্মভূমি মাত্র হয়ে, just the place to do your duty. That's it. You have come into the world, you have got married, you have got family. Fine, do your duty towards them. That is what you start feeling once you generate, once you develop that intense and passionate love for the God. Then you are showing them your compassion. You are doing all your duties. You are doing your duties towards your family members. Yes. You are serving your parents. You are loving your children. You are educating them. You are putting them on the right path. You are guiding them. You are loving your wife, your spouse. Everything is happening. But that is done with the sense of duty, not with the sense of being my own. No, my own is only my mother. My own is only my Lord. My own is only my master. They have all come fine. It is my responsibility. I am performing. So that is what happens. একটি কর্মভূমি মাত্র বোধ হয়, it is my duty, I am doing it wholeheartedly. I am involved in family, but I am not of family. I am doing all my works. যেমন পাড়া গায়ে বাড়ি কিন্তু কলকাতা কর্মভূমি. And then Sri Ramakrishna gives this example as if your own village home, but you have come to Calcutta to perform your job. You have taken up a job in Calcutta, so you have come, but your original place there in your village. কলকাতায় বসা করে থাকতে হয়ে কর্ম কারবার জন্য. Why you stay in Calcutta then? You stay in Calcutta only to perform your duties. Calcutta your original place? No. You have come to Calcutta because somebody gave you an appointment letter. You went there, you started doing your job, you found a house, you got married, you have children, all these things. Just for the sake of your duty. You have left your original place. You have left your original place, you have left your mother and come to this place, but carrying your mother with you. So that is how Sri Ramakrishna differentiates between our actual duty and actual love. The real intense passionate love is only for the God, and then one starts feeling I'm in a foreign land. And that's when when once have this realization, then one starts singing Mono Chalo Nijo Niketone. That this is because one knows this is not my Nijo Niketan. This is not my Nijo Niketan. This is just a temporary staying place. Because I have to take up the job. I have taken up the job. And then ঈশ্বরে ভালোবাসা এলে সংসার আর শক্তি বিষয় বুদ্ধি একবারই যাবে. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, once you have this passionate love, this yearning, great intense yearning for the Lord, then you are completely rid of all the attachments to the world and the so-called worldly wisdom, Vishoy Buddhi. Everything then gets vanished. Once you have this intense love for the Lord, once you have this intense love for the mother, then all these worldly ties, worldly attachments, the so-called worldly wisdom, it just vanishes. It gets destroyed. There is only you and your mother. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna is now, he is answering the question raised by Vijay Krishna Goswami. Is the bhakti is by itself sufficient to have the vision of God? Yes, Sri Ramakrishna says. But again cautions us that not just the unripe bhakti, no. Not the formal bhakti, no. Unripe bhakti will not lead you anywhere. Unripe bhakti will only increase your aham. Because then we start feeling so high about ourselves. I have done 5,000 japa. I have done 10,000 japa. Can anybody do it? I am every day, morning, afternoon, evening. I am worshipping the Lord, I am doing Aarti, I am performing Sandhya, I am chanting Gayatri, I am chanting the Lord's name. Without having the real love for the Lord, if you are doing it, then we are just fooling ourselves. We are helping our ego, we are helping our I to further get bloated. And therefore, Sri Ramakrishna says it has to be ripe bhakti. It has to be prema bhakti. It has to be raga bhakti. Intense, passionate love. And then one realizes the impermanence of the things around us. And only thing permanent is my mother. That's it. Me and my mother. Rest all are just I have to perform my duty towards my parents, towards my spouse, towards my children, towards my relatives. Yes, I will do it. But that then happens with the the understanding of that being a duty. There is no attachment. There is no kind of getting at getting trapped in the net. No, you are doing your duty without getting trapped in the net. You are on your way to the freedom. While getting freed from the fisherman's net, whatever work you have to do, you have to do. You cannot shun your duty. The karma you have to follow. So you have come to Calcutta to and taken up a job, then do all these jobs sincerely, wholeheartedly, but don't get involved in it. Don't get attached to it, because at the end of it you have to constantly keep in mind that this is all mother's play, this is all maya, this is all delusion. And when will this happen? This will happen once you have that genuine, that taint free, that pure and serene and blissful love for your mother. Once you have that, then you get this realization also. And then your so called worldly wisdom gets destroyed, your I-ness gets destroyed, your ego gets destroyed, your selfishness gets destroyed, and you develop the childlike nature or the child of mother. So that is Sri Ramakrishna's teaching to us today through these the words that he has told to Vijay Krishna Goswami. So we will stop our reading here for the day, and we'll see in the next reading that how Sri Ramakrishna is once again emphasizing that uh, even a little bit of a worldly thought will not allow us to get mother's vision. So that we will take up tomorrow. As of now, Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.